big news story coming out yesterday, guys, talking about how the Gardai sergeants are requesting that citizen journalists, quote unquote citizen journalists, should not be allowed to film them in their line of duty or at these protests in Dublin and around the country. Now, right off the bat, this is a massive infringement of our free speech, guys. Of course, people and video cameras, i.e. having your own phone nowadays, is something that everybody has. And on the back of that phone, you have one or two cameras, guys, that's able to film people. And because of a lot of the crazy stuff that's been happening, the Gardai are afraid that people are going to be, facing backlash and that they're going to be attacked while they're off duty. And I understand that, guys, but the case stands that, you have to be able to record things freely because it protects you and it protects them. Because if anything bad happens, then you can use that as evidence in court. Okay, now of course the Gardai have actually got issued body cams, Axon 3 body cams after about flipping how many years, guys? The US, which I'm about to show you at the end, has had them for like 20 years, at least 10 years, where these body cams, it's public footage. You can actually just go online on YouTube and look up a lot of these police shootings and a lot of these crazy stuff that occurs in these police videos. And you are held responsible for that. Unfortunately, if you're a Gardai, if you're a good Garda and you're trying to protect the people, it's not really in your best interest to be abusing that power, but it also protects the people as well, guys. So it's great to see. So we have a gripped article here today, and it says Gardai request re-citizen journalists impossible in context of civil liberties. So avid news readers, as well as those whose mid-fortune of hearing RT's morning report featuring a frankly bizarre stream of verbal diarrhea from astronaut Katy Perry about how she films surrounded by love, will now be aware that Gardai sergeants are calling for legal protections and clear directions on how to handle citizen journalists. So they want to know exactly how that these people can be handled, because they don't want people filming them. But it's really weird because they also film people, for their protection. They have their body camera on. It's to protect the public. Like, for instance, there was a lot of instances in the US, we obviously know, that sparked outrage and these sort of racial controversies saying white police targeting black people and all this type of thing. And because of the body cameras, guys, we actually have got the knowledge, Now, they get released after trials. They get released after the evidence has gone to court. But it's great to see the actual evidence from the first-hand, account. Because if we just hear witnesses' stories don't really matter, guys. Having body cameras there is really what makes it a great asset to the police as well as the people. Concerns have been raised about citizen journalists going to what Inspector Amanda Flood of Store Street Garda Station has called highly pressurized, emotional, charged, and potentially violent situations, where they antagonize members waiting to elicit a response to catch on video. So I'm not sure exactly what they mean by elicit a response. You're allowed to swear at people. You're not allowed to assault somebody, and assault somebody under the law is threaten somebody. I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this, da-da-da. And I've actually had that own situation happen to myself not too long ago. Back last year, at the beginning of the year, I was at my local GA club, and some guy came up to me, some older guy, like 40-year-old, and said, we're not allowed to use this facility. And I didn't know who he was. He was complete nobody, no ID, no nothing. And he squared up to me saying, I'm this, and if you don't leave here, this is going to happen. And I pulled out my phone, and I recorded it, and I have it still on camera, and he ran away subsequently. And there was 2 CCTV cameras actually in the GA station that I live in. But the funny thing is they actually removed those GA cameras and destroyed the footage the next day, which is very ironic, of course, very coincidental, because nothing is coincidences, I think. So he kind of got away with that, but I still have the footage on my phone, guys. So that he was able to destroy that sort of assault, quote unquote, that he committed on me from the CCTV camera. He got rid of the footage there, but I still have my footage. So it's great to always record things or things that you think that are going to go crazy. Now, I'm very lucky that I had my phone on me. But if I didn't have my phone on me, what would have happened, guys? Could he have fought me or tried to fight me or whatever? Now, that would have ended very badly for him. I'll just say that right now. But, you don't know, guys. You might have to go to court. A whole bunch of crazy shit might have happened. So, yeah, it's unbelievable that someone would do that kind of shit in 2025 because there's cameras everywhere. Like I said, there was 2 CCTV cameras on him, 4 actually, and then including my phone. It was in not a very busy area, but it's always good to have your phone on you guys. Okay, if anything crazy happens in Ireland, make sure to record it. Okay, don't just sit there idle and think that, oh, there's cameras here, they'll capture the footage. They can destroy that footage, guys. Okay, capture the footage yourself on your own phone, and you can use that in court if it ever, is deemed necessary. Interestingly, interfering with a member of Garda Síochána in the line of duty is already an offence under Section 516 of the Criminal Justice Act 2006. This states that a person who obstructs a member of the Gardaí in an exercise of his powers or fails to comply with the direction under this section is guilty of an offence and liable to a fine or imprisonment. Yeah, and I mean, I guess it makes sense. If you're trying to obstruct a Gardaí, it's called obstruction. If you're trying to arrest somebody and someone else is trying to stop you from doing that, you should absolutely go to jail, guys, because that is an offense. You have to follow the law, and I agree with that, 100%. So a report from the policing authority focused on public order policing says that many officers felt reluctant to use force in riots because members expressed concern to their family members in particular were informing regarding their name, address, and family details are then published online in the comments accompanying the clip. Now, here's the thing about freedom of speech, guys. Unfortunately, we can't prevent that. I wouldn't personally do that myself, start posting people on the internet, but, I mean, if you're doing that job, guys, you are under public scrutiny because you have to follow the law, and let's say you hit somebody too hard, you may have to go to court for that, unfortunately, as a guard. I couldn't even imagine, guys. I think the Gardaí do a great job in certain cases, arresting murderers, attackers, sexual assault, stuff like that, drug traffickers, human traffickers. I think they do a great job in that. But of course, a lot of people don't like them because they check your tax and then you get a fine or whatever. So I understand both sides of it, okay, but it is a tough job, guys. So, understand that they are working, against that. So you can't make being an asshole illegal. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. While it's difficult to feel sympathetic to concerns about people sticking their phones in your face, there is no practical way to carry out calls for action against citizen journalists in this regard without causing undue infringement of civil liberties. Yeah, absolutely, guys. In my own line of work, I have witnessed people who are described as arseholes holding their phones at very close proximity to the faces of members of Garda Síochána recording or live streaming while verbally berating the officers in the most uncivil terms. Yeah, and unfortunately, guys, you can be slapped with a fine or 6 months in prison for crazy behavior like that, which I do think is an assault. If you verbally say you're gonna beat somebody up, you're gonna hit somebody, you're gonna attack somebody, that is an assault, guys. Unfortunately, that is what people don't understand. That is actually against the law to do that. So, but yeah, Philip Dwyer, citizen journalist, he failed to comply with members of Garda Síochána, and he was in court. I'm not sure what happened. Was that thrown out subsequently? We use that word quite a bit today, but whatever has happened there, guys, is just crazy. But what do you guys think in the comments down below? Do you think that you should be able to film people? I mean, I absolutely do think that, and it is within your right to film in a public place. And truth be told, guys, as soon as you leave your house, just understand that there's thousands of CCTV cameras. England is the most CCTV country in the world. Ireland, we have a ton of CCTV cameras. Like I said, at my local GAA club, there's 4 that I can see. Maybe there's more. I have one myself with my phone. My girl might have one. My friends might have one. So there's 8 or 9 cameras going on at any one time at that park, guys. So it's great to see, because then it prevents people from getting hurt or attacked or kidnapped or whatever crazy shit that could go on. There's kids there. You do want that, because you could see, okay, this white van kidnapped these flipping, this crazy guy kidnapped people and shit like that. So it is good that we do have these procedures in place, guys. But here in Ireland, we're kind of dealing with that for the first time. I think people are very, very unaware that there's thousands of videos. Matter of fact, look at police activity, guys. There's thousands of videos online, okay, of police interactions every single day with the public, and so there should be. And I think that the Gardaí should have a database where they release to the public police footage and the crazy stuff that happens in their line of duty to protect the people and to protect them, because people will see how stressful and crazy their job actually is. For instance, I left a comment on this guy's video yesterday, okay?
Boarding career with origins accredited.
I left a video on this video, okay? Attack on Ohio trooper sparks cruiser theft and rollout pursuit crash. It was insane. This guy stole a police cruiser, okay, and drove down the road and then crashed it. I left a comment, in the name of Jesus, you lost your damn mind, because he was talking about, in your name of Jesus, he was going nuts. But like I said, guys, like, you're allowed to see this different footage. You're allowed to, you know, witness the different crazy interactions, because it is in the public. It's not in a private home. So it is good to see that, you know, that people are recording, you know, Gardai. Unfortunately, I don't like the way they insult the Gardai guys. It's not a good thing to do. Insulting people is never a good thing. You know, always remain professional. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Should you be allowed to film people? Should you be, you know, arrested for being an asshole? You know, insulting people. I definitely don't agree with that, guys. You know, if there's any case for going to prison, you know, I wouldn't agree with putting someone in prison for making fun of you. But if they're threatening you, I mean, that is against the law. So let me know your thoughts. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, man, keep recording people, keep recording the public, keep recording as much as you can, guys, because, you know, having your own database on your phone is very, very important. And citizen journalism is a funny one, guys, because for all intents and purposes, I'm a citizen journalist. I post videos every day. You know, who's to say that they're going to make this illegal one day? They might. That's why I encourage you to hit the join link underneath the video, become a member of my channel, support me, push back, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.